All right. We're back. We're back. I feel like it's been so long. We took a little bit of a stumble with our
Yeah,
rolling a one and
yeah.
um actually, we didn't even do the one thing that I wanted to do for this, which was show what we rolled because we're
Did the
completely off
roll
the rails
happen?
today.
Oh, that's right. The roll happened totally off screen.
Yeah, and the last time we did that, I at least oh my god, all my wires are completely tangled. Um, last time I did that, I at least got a clip of it. So, good viewer, you'll have to take us on our faith that we rolled an 11, which means that we're talking about. Wait, I just want to make sure it's 11 because it could very much not be 11. 11. Yes, 11, which is our top 5 albums.
Hey, can
I
I
wish I
can I
had
say
the.
something? Can I reveal something? You don't know this, and neither does our audience. Can I reveal something before we start our double episode about number 11, top five music?
If you tell me that you lied just so that we could talk about top 5 albums, I'm going to be real upset. And we're coming into this really on a really good note.
Well, then never mind. No, I'm just kidding. So, okay, you're half right. You're half right. I did lie,
Oh, God.
but I lied incorrectly because I wanted to talk about number 12
Which,
games.
which is, yes, which is board slash card games.
But
Oh,
when
yeah.
I but
Oh,
when
I
I
do remember.
execute but when I executed that lie to you, I said 11 instead of 12.
And I
And
latched
I
on
did
to.
and I did not, I genuinely did not know that 11 was music. So I did lie, but I didn't lie to give us what we're going to be talking about today. So I just wanted to I wanted to throw
it's a
that out
it's a
there
fumble on all
that
fronts,
that
which
we've
is
stumbled into our year-end episode with me slipping on a big liar's banana peel.
which honestly it works out perfectly. Um, because first off, let's get this show kicked off right. Welcome to Show and Tell. This is I
Yeah, let's get it kicked off right.
let's get it kicked off right. And my New Year's resolution is to be better at saying the name of the show because
Yeah.
I asked Renee's mom to be a guest on Missing the Homies, and she's like, "What's that?" I was like, I had like a little tear well up. I was like, "That's the show that you were on." She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I would love to." She's like, I didn't know the name of the show." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I got to do that." So, anyways, with that tangent noted, welcome to Show and Tell. With Tone and Tone, I'm Tone. My
I'm also Tone.
and we're here to give you a beautiful audio video what is supposed to be a show that you can listen to, an audio show that you can watch, but it
Stop.
has, yes.
An audio podcast that you can watch.
Yes, but instead it has
Or
turned
was it a
into.
video podcast that you can listen to?
No, that's what it's turned into. It's turned into a video podcast that you can listen to.
Against my greatest wishes, by the way.
Yes, yes, that was Tony made me sign a blood contract and said, and that was one of the clauses, and so I have. Yeah, we're here. I think now is time to crack the ceremonial bubbly, just like the Olympic gong. Right? They do that at the Olympics. I don't know. I'm.
It's a torch.
Oh, okay. What do they hit the gong for?
I don't know. But
Maybe that's not the Olympics.
I already ripped the ceremonial sponsored beverage, Liquid Death. Please sponsor us. I love your
Ha-
product so much.
Hashtag Liquid Death. Please sponsor us. Still waiting for the Liquid Death merch drop that's gonna hit our doors that we're waiting for.
Yeah, it's either gonna hit your doors next week when I hand it to you in person, or in February when I hand it to you in person.
I guess we'll find out. But anyways, let's run the intro and then we'll get right into it. So Tony, I've thought about this because normally we're just kind of laxed and loose with how we do it. But I think it's only fair that you kick off the top 5 albums
Oh,
because I kicked off the music, the our last two music episodes.
well,
And I
I'm
know that you, of course, did not do five,
well, okay. So I interpreted the show and tell prompt today as top five music.
which we intentionally left
And yeah,
vague.
and it was vague. And I had a weird year with music, which I'm
Had a
obviously going to talk about. And I also just finished three of the four pieces of writing that I'm putting up on my blog about my year in music. So I've been kind of thinking about music from all different sorts of angles. So
We're
the
hungry.
the top five list that I've brought to show and tell for you today is the drum roll, please. Top five ways I listened to music in 2022.
Ooh, I really
Okay.
also my next New Year's resolution is going to be to get the graphics all set again so that they can just work for a whole year.
And I tried to come to that list, in like as interesting a way as possible. And this is something that I've been writing about all month, in my year-end lists, plug for the blog, link in bio.
Oh, of
Um,
course. I think that's the first time you talked about the blog.
well, the
Blog will be
blog
linked.
the blog is new. I like got back into blogging. I had a professional website when I was on the job market, and I took it down because I didn't want to pay for it anymore. My intention is to retire from the job that I'm at. I do need to have some kind of online presence, but it didn't need to be like a big complicated thing. So I just moved back to like Blogger,
And
which was huge in the early and mid thousands.
because you
And
had to get off Twitter with the mass exodus
Well, no, I'm
of
not. We're not talking about that. People that are freaking out about Twitter are cornballs. The only thing goofier than Elon Musk are normal people with strong Elon Musk opinions. IMHO.
I will say I did think it was fucking hilarious how he put the poll of like should I step down
You
because
know
it
what? I
it
was an attention-seeking loser in middle school. When I saw that post, I became deeply depressed. It was sad. That was sad. He's in a dark place, and I feel bad for him.
he the worst
Sort of.
thing is that he went to a site where everybody hates him and he asked, "Do you hate me?" And if it
Yeah,
was
and
anything else, if it was any other site, if it wasn't like Twitter is the place where somebody will tell you, "Hey, I fucking hate you for no reason," and
yeah, I hope you die.
he asked them,
Yeah,
which is
what an idiot.
oh great. Anyways, so sorry, the blog.
Okay, so
Let's get to that number. Are we starting at number 5 or number
yeah, we're
1?
gonna go down. We're gonna go down from so this is like the top five ways I listen to music from least to most.
And oh god, I'm a
So
slut
the
for a
number
list.
five way that
No,
I
no, no,
listen
no, no, no. Number 5 way, Tony. Listen.
the number five way that I listened to music this year was by seeing it live. In a normal year, that would be like my number two or three, but kind of post slash late stages, year three of the pandemic, having a baby, I was just not going to be going out to see a lot of concerts this year. In fact, it's rare that I can do this, but I can count on one hand how many shows I saw this year.
Oh no, who
So,
did you actually see?
well,
I mean,
so
you're
in
gonna tell.
February, or in March, excuse me, I saw Animal Collective, who released one of my top five albums of the year.
Oh,
In
what?
April, I saw Jack White twice, who released two of my top five albums of the year.
Okay, so we got your top 3 of the top 5 albums of the
Yeah.
year.
In July, I saw this band Foxing, and they were being supported by this other band, Home Is Where, who released two of my top 10 albums of last year. And in August, I saw Coheed and Cambria, who released one of my top five albums of this year.
Did you ever
So,
get a hold of the Coheed and Cambria graphic novel?
I mean, I have my hardbacks, and the hardbacks are widely in print, but like the TPBs are not. And I,
Gotcha.
I, I love you, buddy, but I'm not getting you a hardback on the chance that you like it.
No,
So
absolutely not.
anyway, so to represent consuming live music this year, I do have a few physical artifacts. I have a signed copy of Foxing's Nearer My God. They had this at the merch table when I saw them in Columbus at the A&R Music Bar in July. Um, they're like a very cool band. They're kind of an emo band, but they also have like some prog rock and post rock tendencies. Their shows are intense. Their shows are like scary, but like in a
Oh,
cool way. I don't really, but they don't make scary music, so I don't really know what I mean by that. Um,
like 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 violent scary,
no,
like
just like the
like mosh
band.
pits and shit.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it was at a bar venue, so like there wasn't like a
Yeah.
mosh pitable crowd or area, but no,
Did you
the band
did you
they
feel
like put
unsafe?
1,000, they leave it all on the floor,
Oh, okay.
so that was cool. That was a fun show. That was a weird show because this was the first time where I really noticed how old I was. And I was definitely like this band Home Is Where they're like kids, they're children. And
Okay.
I was definitely 10 years older than the second oldest person at the show. And I felt every inch of my age, but like it was a cool time.
I was gonna. Well, did that?
I did leave early. It was a late show. I did leave a couple songs early.
Okay, I was just gonna say, well, did being around all of those, I mean, you're a professor, you're used to being around young people. I was gonna say, did the energy of the room make you feel alive and young? But
Yeah, no, I mean
never
it did.
mind.
It did. It was like a cool,
You
I
left
didn't
early.
feel all of the negativity that I was feeling was like Catholic guilt, self-imposed. Like, it wasn't like anybody in the crowd were,
Was pointing
I
at you, going old.
at least I don't think so.
Yeah,
I can't say for certain, but I didn't get the vibes that I was giving off any bad vibes. I mean, I hung out in the back.
yeah.
Not only was I the oldest guy there, I'm also very tall. And I wanted to be like very respectful to the
My
crowd.
5'11" king.
I'm 5'12".
Oh my gosh, 5'12" on the dot.
No, I'm 6'0".
Five
But
twelve and 6'0" the same. Are the same.
good point.
I'm just gonna tell people that my friend
As
is
if that was
5'12".
the joke.
Sorry, I'm in a silly, goofy mood. Obviously, you can tell we haven't
Yeah.
recorded in a while.
Hey, are we on the SS Silly Goose? Because you sure look like the captain. Now, if I told that
such a
joke at the
such a great
Foxing
off.
Home Is Where show, I would have gotten thrown out immediately. So
They
that
would
was
have
one thing.
mercilessly beat the shit out of you.
My second artifact to represent
No, 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 no.
consuming
Number
live music
two.
this year is a vinyl called Jack White live. Oh, and I just realized these are in reverse. Can I flip my video real quick?
Yes.
Um, I
Do you
wonder
need me?
if there's a way to do that. I go to video settings. I should have done this at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Uh,
Oh,
there we go.
we've almost had a flawless.
So this is a fan club only vinyl. It's Jack White live at the Supply Chain Issues tour, and
Ooh.
Jack White's basically been touring since April 8th, and he has been playing a lot of songs from his new albums. This is a triple LP. The first LP are live versions of the album Fear of the Dawn. The second LP is a recording from a show at a church in London where he
Oh,
played
so
all of the album Entering Heaven Alive front to back. And then the third LP is a collection of covers and improvisations that Jack White and his band played at the tour. And this record represents a second bucket list item for me, which is having a live recording on vinyl of a show I was at.
oh shit. Okay,
And
so
so this is
which show were you
technically
at?
well, I was at the tour opener in Detroit on April 8th, and I was at the second show in Detroit on April 9th. And there are one, two, three songs from those two shows on this album. So this is technically the second Jack White live album that I'm on.
The second?
So
What's that's so sick. Okay, wait. Question.
yeah, he did a
So you said he's touring his new album. What's his new album? I know you just said it.
well, there's two of them. The first one came out in April. It's called it's called Fear of the Dawn.
Okay. And that's
And
the
the
one with
second one,
all the cool cover art that you showed me all the singles that you had, like the blue and the.
Well, those pull from both albums.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
those pull from both albums. I mean, he originally wrote them as a single double album, and
mhm.
then he thought, you know what, I'm going to put them out separately for two reasons. The first reason is that
More money.
if you divide them in half, like half the songs are kind of like guitar rocky, and the other half are kind of more mellow, more avant-garde experimental songs. The second
So
reason
two
is
different
that,
vibes.
yeah, and the second reason is that the record plant literally would not have been able to press all of the vinyl at once.
Holy shit.
So
The
he said
supply
in some
the supply
interviews,
chain issues tour.
exactly.
Gotcha.
He said in some interviews kind of famously, like, the upshot to owning your own record label is that you can put out albums whenever you want, but the downside is you can't put out too many.
So
So
that was my next question. So he put out two albums this year, and as we actually we don't know, but how Jack White aside, how many? I guess this is a Jack White question. Whatever. How many albums does he have? Because I know he's in so many fucking different bands.
well, how many albums under his own name or total, all bands?
I guess total. Or that okay,
Um,
never mind. Just him because the face you
no,
made,
I
there's
got
a
it. I
lot.
figured out the hard way. Count six White Stripes, three
Shit.
Rock Contours.
We know I can't.
That's
We know I
nine.
can't
That's
math.
shut up. That's nine. Three Dead Weather. That's 12.
12.
And five solo. That's 17.
Oh, holy shit! That's almost as many as Gucci Mane. I don't know how many
Yeah.
albums Gucci Mane has.
I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know why you brought that up though.
That was my only point of reference. Okay, 17 albums. That's fucking nuts. And two came out this
So
year.
seeing music live, that was the number five way I listened to music this year.
So is number 4 vinyl, or is it specifically vinyl that you're on?
Number four is vinyl. And in a normal year, Tone, I would have listened to vinyl um, a lot more than I listened to not vinyl, but I spent half the year apart from my record player.
Yes.
However, that
2022 is
didn't
the
stop
year
me
you
from
got
enjoying.
your storage unit.
That's right. That's right. So I divide my vinyl listening in 2022 into two halves. The half of the year before I moved from Michigan, and the last record I listened to in Livonia was Jack White's Fear of the Dawn. And
Okay.
literally the morning we got the U-Haul, I played this shit on the turntable before I packed it up to move into a storage unit. So
Damn.
Fear of the Dawn, the Target exclusive Midnight Moon variant, was the
Wow.
last record that I played in Livonia, Michigan on my turntable. Now, I did sort of just lie to you. Ben has a record player that we did take to Rachel's parents' house. It's a piece of shit little plastic spinneret record. And if the album is heavier than 120 grams, the motor is not fast enough to play it loudly. But that did not stop me from playing Coheed and Cambria's album Vaxis Part 2, A Window to the Waking Mind, on that record player, almost frying the motor. Now, I
Oh,
love Coheed and Cambria.
so
I
cool.
had access to this record in multiple formats, but I had to listen to it in vinyl. The band's merch shipper sucks. So the
Supply
copy
chain
that I had
issues.
pre-ordered, yeah, the copy that I pre-ordered took literally 9 years to arrive. I got pissed off on the day before release day. I was at the record store. I was at Spoonful Records. I can say this because enough time has passed. And I said to my boy Brett, the record store owner, I said, Brett, do you have the Coheed and Cambria album? He said, yeah, of course. We're going to put it out tomorrow. And I said,
Please.
and he
Please.
said, all right, you can have it today. So I got my
Oh,
indie store exclusive version of Vaxis 2. I
oh, that's
immediately went
so
home.
sick.
I waited till Beans took a nap. I put this shit on his turntable. And luckily, this is not heavy gram vinyl. so it was able to play with pretty good fidelity. So that was the that was like the fourth way I consume music. Now I listen to a lot of vinyl in my office. You can see I got my setup in here, but like when I'm in my office, I'm not like being a very good, tight, focused listener. So
Yeah,
for that reason, vinyl was sort of like my number four
because it is so
music
because it's got
consumption.
like that nice. It's background music for you, something you can just put on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, with that being said,
Another lie incoming.
I do want to give another plug for the blog. I did post a list of favorite albums that I liked enough to buy this year, but
Hmm.
not call my favorite albums of the year. And we're gonna put a link to that down in the bio
You
because I didn't listen to a ton of vinyl, but
Mhm.
I do listen to a ton of vinyl,
but you
just not this year.
enough to where
I have a ton of vinyl.
enough
I
to
have a
where
ton of vinyl.
if you scoot your chair to the right, you can see all of that. Tons, tons of vinyl.
So I'm hoping 2023 is going to be a big vinyl year for your boy.
Peep the description. Link to Tony's blog will be in the description of the video. Thank you, thank you. Noted
Do you
that
want to know
number
my no?
noted that number three way that Tony listened to music in
All right,
2022.
you're gonna appreciate this one.
If it's cassettes,
The
I'm gonna
number
lose my
three the
mind.
number three way I consumed music in 2022, and this is a very Ben centric entry, was by watching music videos and concerts on DVD and on YouTube.
Okay, I was gonna say if it was just DVD, that's so specific. But
Well,
okay,
I do have a lot of concert DVDs. For example, I have the Gaslight Anthem handwritten CD DVD special edition, which has
damn.
a nice little making of documentary. I, of course, also have, a live album from their 59 sound era concert video. And I was really heavy into watching their live shows this year because they went on a reunion tour.
Hmm.
Oh, dude, shit. I lied to you earlier. I can't count the concerts I saw this year on one hand because I saw a sixth show, and it was the Gaslight Anthem in Detroit in early October. Sorry, I lied.
We broke one hand. This episode is
We
just gonna be
broke.
titled Tony's Lies.
This is an episode on an absolute tissue of lies. I feel like such a piece of shit. But I did watch a lot of concert DVDs. I did watch a lot of live shows on YouTube. I
That's
talked
so
about seeing Animal Collective earlier.
that's so interesting. That's something I've never in my life felt the need to like because I feel like being at the show is a special um experience in and of itself. And
Sure.
then but I mean you and I have different
I want to
appreciations
put a
for music
pin in
like that.
that because my number two listening method responds more directly to what you're saying. But I will say this:
Yes.
throwing on a concert bootleg or a concert DVD on YouTube is very baby friendly because you can just throw it on, turn the TV up, and then if I got to go in the other room to change the diaper, I can still hear it. If I got to go fix a bottle, I can still hear it. If we're sitting down on the couch and he wants to be engaged with something, we can
There's
sing and
enough
dance
going on.
along. He can watch it. So
Fuck fuck
it
Coco
was like,
Melon. You're playing Gaslight Anthem live show 59 sound for beans.
dude, you get it. You're ready to be, you got those cats got you ready. You're ready to be parent.
Dad already.
And it was fun because like, especially early in 2022, like on days that I was teaching before Ben would go to daycare, Rachel would be at work and it would be like, she would leave at 8 and then me and Beans would just kind of lock it down till 5. So, we would like, oh, hey, Ben, let me show you this Coheed show I was at in 2010. Oh, let's put on an Animal Collective bootleg
Oh, that's
since I
so
can't,
cool.
like, I'm an adult. I can't drive to Pittsburgh and Columbus and Cleveland to see this band 3 times on the same tour. Why don't we go ahead and check out on YouTube and see what they played last night? And it would just be like
Oh,
a really fun way to
for
like
you and Ben to go
kill
to a concert.
time. Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get the vibes.
Exactly.
That
But
is
like,
that is really
you
sweet.
know, it, it was at the risk of getting too sentimental on Maine. Um, I've changed a lot this year.
Oh,
My
I
life changed a lot this year. So I've been like indulging in a lot of like, remember when and memory and nostalgia. And
2022 was
um
the nostalgia year.
and it was like really gratifying to like, go back and like listen to video like watch videos or listen to shows of bands like playing their music in an era when I was like 19 and the thing I was the most responsible for was like not dying at a party.
Yeah.
And I don't
When
I
when
don't
your big
resent my
when your
newfound
biggest concern
responsibility.
was getting in the Sprinter van at oh fuck, what was the place called? Don't tell me I know. Oh my gosh. Swenson's. At Swenson's playing yeah, you know.
Blitz.
Playing Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I don't resent. I love my life and I'm glad
Yeah.
I couldn't go see, you know, 30 concerts this year. I wouldn't trade the way my life was different this year for anything on the planet. But, it's sort of nice to like go back and I was really
Yeah.
fond of that. And it was really fun in a year when like all of my favorite bands released new music to like really study changes throughout their career. Like I could watch like a Coheed and Cambria video from 2006, 2009, 2012, 2017, and then like see them this summer and be like, okay, cool. I'm not the only one
Mm.
that's changing in these really dramatic ways. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to put a plug out there. Concert DVDs and YouTube videos are underrated. And I 1 year ago, I would have sat here and said people that consume music through YouTube are lazy and bad fans, and that was wrong, and I regret having that attitude about it.
Hey, if 2022 was the year you grew out of your uh gaslight phase, your gatekeeping phase, if 2021 was the year of gaslight girl boss gatekeep summer, 2022 is your year of growth, gratitude, and goodness. Damn.
I like that.
I
I
stuck
love
the landing.
that. Pin that.
That's my
All
pinned
right.
tweet.
Are
All
you
right,
ready
so
for my
number two.
number two? That's like poop. Okay, number two.
Love to button up a sentimental moment with a poop joke. That's
Yeah,
my
well, you know
vibe.
how it is. So no,
Oh shit, we got 10 minutes
number
too.
two. Oh fuck. Okay, all warp speed. I gotta share my screen.
Uh,
So you have to let me share my screen. But while you're allowing me to do that, I'm going to explain it. My number two method of listening to music this year was streaming.
of course. You're
And
good to go.
streaming
Oh my god,
from two.
actually, that reminds me of something I need to talk about, but I'll save it for my episode. Anyways. Also, you're good to
Good
share
teaser.
your
So
screen.
streaming in two ways. I listened to two things on streaming this year. The first thing I listened to was a lot of podcasts. The second thing I listened to was an app called Nugs, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So pin in that. Podcasts. I listen to a lot of music podcasts. And one of the like primary ways that I would listen to music this year was by listening to a podcast, getting some kind of music recommendation from that podcast, and then going and listening to that music recommendation. And that flow played out in a podcast called 36 from the Vault by my music daddy, Stephen Hayden and Rob Mitchum, who, by the way, wrote a
Whoa.
review about Wilco that I reference in one of my blog posts, link in bio. So
Third plug for the blog.
This podcast 36 in the Vault is about the Grateful Dead, who I'd never listened to before June 23rd, 2022. They did a special episode about Radiohead because the co-host Stephen Hayden wrote a book about Radiohead that I loved and I wanted to listen to it. I liked the banter between Steve and the other co-host Rob Mitchum, and I thought, my time is pretty meaningless this summer. I have a lot of time to listen to podcasts. I'll
Right.
listen to one episode about this Grateful Dead band and I'll check it out. They did an episode about a concert. The concert bootleg is widely available. I went and listened to the concert bootleg. I thought the Grateful Dead are actually pretty tight. I'm going to check them out. Let me go on Twitter, as you can see here, and
Yes.
make a recommendation. Okay.
Beautiful
One of
sight.
my buddies, Andrew Muth, who
Who
used
is
to
a writer?
write for a
Who is a
TV
writer
show.
on Central Park on Apple TV Plus? Trying
That's
to.
right. He used to write Yeah, that's right. Cool dude. He went to college with my brother. Very nice guy. And I said, okay, if I want to check out the Grateful Dead, where do I start? And he recommended Europe 1972. I
Is that
listened
an
to
album?
it. Huh?
Is that an album?
Yeah, it's a live album.
Gotcha.
I listened to the album American Beauty first, and then I checked out Europe 72. Again, this was streaming. I was on Tidal, and I liked it so much. And you can see I kind of follow up with him through the weeks. And I went and bought Grateful Dead Europe 72 on vinyl
Oh
because
shit.
the recommendation was so good. And I really dug it. I became a Deadhead this summer. I listened to many episodes of the podcast. I discovered that on July 13th, Working Man's Dead was even better. I tracked that down on vinyl this summer, listened to that a lot. And I got so enmeshed by the power of this podcast and these recommendations that months later in October, I made a tweet
It's okay.
referencing a Grateful Dead deep cut. This song, Dark Star, is a live staple by the band The Grateful Dead, and they're usually 15 to 45 minutes long. This one
This
song.
the song 15 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, Dark Star can be as short as 15 minutes or as long as 45. And
Wow.
so I
Holy.
tweeted, it took Poppy a whole Dark Star to pee before bed tonight. Here's Desi. And
See
Andrew
there.
checked back in. And I just really liked it. I do want to pull up the quote tweet here. I guess I deleted the quote tweet, but I named the particular episode or the particular concert that Dark Star was from. It was from a Columbus show
Uh,
in the 70s, Columbus, Ohio. So there's a little connection there. Now, the other half of my music streaming is
yes.
that this app slash website called Nugs,
Nugs.
also very Grateful Dead friendly, has live shows, bootlegs, recordings, and video of concerts. And this
Okay.
year,
I was just
um,
about to look
Jack
up the app.
White Jack White put all of his tour on Nugs, and I listened to 1,506 live songs by Jack White this year for a total of 98
98
hours,
hours. Holy shit.
13 minutes, and 12 seconds. Now, if we pull up my blog post about it, I broke down the statistics a little bit more. He
98.
played 104 shows this year, and I listened to 69 of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, and I would say too, when I've listened to two more since I started writing this, so I'm up to 71.
That's 4 fucking
So
days. That is 4 days.
yeah,
You listen to Jack
so
White for 4 days.
I streamed 4 days of Jack White, and I gotta tell you, Tone, it was pretty cool to be in my underwear in bed, cuddling with my dogs and baby, hearing Jack White live instead of having to drive to Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
Yeah.
Kentucky, and so on and so forth. I got to go to every Jack White show this year,
Wow. That's so sick.
including including the two Jack White shows that I fucking attended. I have them on C Dog. I can listen to those shits every single time I'm in my car. And can you give me a drum
Damn.
roll, please?
Also,
Speaking of CDs, I know the number one way that I listened to music in 2022 was on CDs. And there wasn't a single CD that I enjoyed more than MJ Lenderman's Boat Songs on Dear Life Records. Now, this CD came out in April. I
yes.
got it 3 weeks ago. It is one of the only things I've listened to since I got it.
Oh, those are my
Here's why I
favorite.
like this CD. Here's why I like this CD, and here's why I like CDs in general. I have
Yes.
like a 40-minute commute. Okay.
So
So
you
that's
could
80
pop in a
minutes a
CD.
day.
It's perfect right there.
This CD is exactly one half, no, 3/4 of my commute. which means
That doesn't seem very
I
exact.
can listen to it a total of 3 times a day. And I've been listening to it 3 times a day since I put it in my car, and will continue to listen to it 3 times a day until I remove it from my car, which I guess technically I have. So I guess I'm gonna have to listen to something else. Maybe I'll check out some music by Jack White, I guess. MJ
Maybe.
Lenderman, boat songs. It would be in my top 5 albums of the year, but it doesn't seem fair to award an album that came out in April that I didn't get till December on the prestigious top 5 list.
Oh wait, so you didn't stream it at all? You waited until CD?
I don't know why, but for some reason I just never. Well, I mean, I listened to 4 days of Jack White
I
concerts.
yeah,
That
I,
was
I
one of
was
the
gonna say I
reasons.
could tell you why.
Yeah, so I it's not a mystery as to why I didn't get into MJ Lenderman, but as the year was ending, enough people, podcasts that I stream, music sites that I read, people were telling me like, dude, check out boat songs. Like you're gonna fuck with boat songs.
Yeah.
And I just like never got around to it. I sat down, I made myself listen to it,
Okay,
blew me
wait,
away.
wait. Okay. Sorry to cut you off. Um
Please.
so we have less than 2 minutes and we got four of your top 5 albums of the year. Could you tell us what's your fifth to round out that top five? Because we got your five. So to recap, and I'll vamp while you think about it. So to
I
recap,
have it. I know it.
okay, your top 5 ways that you consume music this year: live concert experiences, vinyl.
Vinyl,
Shut up, Siri.
YouTube,
YouTube concerts. Um, oh my gosh,
streaming.
streaming, yes, and 5 is CDs, or number
Yes.
1 would be CDs. All right, less than a minute left. Can you tell us your album of the year?
Okay, so it's cheating. The 2 Jack White albums count as one. So my top 5 are um, Nothing Special by Will Sheff, Reset by Panda Bear and Sonic Boom, Jack White and Jack White by Jack White, the Coheed and Cambria album, uh,
Quick,
dude, shit, how the fuck do I not?
you said you had it.
I lied.
This
Oh, fuck.
this episode was built on lies
Oh my
and
god, it was the Animal Collective album, Time
Animal
Skips.
Collective. And Tony, before we get kicked off, also this has been Show and Tell with